Rotary reminds us through a very simple but profound motto: unite for good. That phrase reframes everything. It transforms a meeting into momentum, a conversation into connection, a small act into lasting impact. Most meaningful change doesn't happen in dramatic moments. It happens in consistent ones. In showing up, in listening, in collaborating, and choosing generosity when it would be easier to choose convenience. So yes, it's Wednesday, but somewhere today, a student will be seen, a family will feel supported, a project will move one step closer to fruition, a community will be stronger because we decided to act. Mission makes the ordinary sacred. And when people committed to service gather together, there are no routine days, only opportunity disguised as them. May we treat today accordingly. Thank you.
Next up, meeting front line, we have Spur reporter Linda Stanford, Spur publisher Don Wentz, photographer Trudy Barnes. Thank you, Trudy. Audio-visual Don Wentz right here, working hard throughout the week to get this thing going. And greeter Sheila Faliano, past President Sheila.
I've got to give credit to Dave Barnes because I was tardy, so I'm sure I'm going to have to owe for that. But Dave, thank you for stepping in. Oh, yeah.
Even more frontliners coming up. Sonia Sheffield and Debbie Peck are new sergeants at arms. Thank you very much. Next, web magician Kathy Coyle. I don't know if Kathy is here today. Is Kathy here? No. Okay, public outreach. Kelly Bowers is always reaching out to the public, doing wonderful things for us. And videographer right over here, Tim Berry. Great. Next up, visiting Rotarians and guests. No Rotarians. Bob Tuckmont's not here today? What's going on?
He's here.
I'm in. There he is.
Going to be officially introduced.
First off, I'd like to recognize that he's sitting right here, and there's Rotarians sitting right next to him. And I came from way over there. But I would like to introduce a Rotarian extraordinaire.
Yes.
Bob Tucknott from the Dublin Club, is electrical contractor.
So good, you guys. You said hello. I'm so proud.
Any other Rotarians or guests of the Rotarians?
Yes.
I think Stu has a special guest.
Special guest.
Yes.
Same one.
Yes, the same one.
The same one.
President Pat and fellow Rotarians, I'd like to introduce my wife of 44 years, Diane.
Perfect. And I would like to introduce Trevor Gilling. He is Senator McCree's Tri-Valley representative.
Hey, hello.
Next up, we have a special birthday. Diane Geyer. Happy birthday. Okay, student of the month. Thank you, Bill.
It is my pleasure to introduce our Student of the Month program, and here to bring us our Student of the Month, which this month comes from Del Valle High School, is Principal Eric Taylor.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So today is a true privilege to be here with a student who embodies everything, the value of service, the discipline of the Rotary Club and standards. For I'm here to recognize Aaron Abels. Aaron is a junior at Del Val and is making the extraordinary look easy. The able student, I'll let it sink in for a second. When I asked teachers for their thoughts, a common theme emerged, and I promised the pun was intended by more than one of them. Aaron is a very able student. But beyond the play on words, the feedback was remarkably consistent. Teachers described him as respectful and responsible, kind-hearted, a kind of student who is simply easy to have in class because he is grounded, has a grounded nature and is dedicated. The quiet discipline we often talk about, just showing up, is half the battle. But for Aaron, that takes literally, he has near perfect attendance. In a world where it's easy to find an excuse to stay home, Aaron is there every single day and he's ready to work, even when it's raining like yesterday. Rain scares away a lot of our students for some reason, but not Aaron. The consistency has paid off in a massive way. While most juniors are starting to look at their senior year requirements, Aaron has worked with such intensity that he's now on track to graduate an entire year early. Wow. To achieve this while maintaining a reputation for being sweet and kind shows a level of maturity that is rare amongst high schoolers. And I can vouch for that, that's very true. The balance is not all textbooks and early graduation though. When he isn't crushing his academic goals, Aaron is a really good skateboarder. And I think it's a perfect metaphor for a school career. It takes a lot of falls and a lot of persistence to master a trick. And Aaron has applied that same get back up and try again mentality to his education. So Aaron and the teachers, your teachers at Del Val are incredibly proud of you. You aren't just being recognized today for your grades, you're being recognized for your character, for being a person who is dedicated, respectful, and genuinely kind. Rotarians, please join me in congratulations for our Student of the Month, Aaron Abels.
Hi, my name's Aaron. Thank you so much for the award. Thank you so much for the award. My name's Aaron, and I just want to thank my grandma and my aunt, Della and Ali. Thank you so much.
Here's your sign.
Yeah. Your side, okay, right here, here we go. Got it. Thank you.
Hey, announcements. I think Bob Cowan has an announcement.
Okay.
What's going on, Bob?
Let me come up here, I got a couple slides to talk to. Well, if you want a table at the crab feed, you're too late. We're almost sold out. We've got, I think, one table with 4, one with 3. We have some twosies around. So if you know friends that want to come, get them online really quickly. Okay, now there's a meeting tomorrow at my house, 5:15, through the 21st, which is, of course, the date of the crab feed. So I wanted to give you some background on the live auction items we're going to have, because that's where we really make the money for the club year. And people have donated some really nice stuff, and this is a time for you folks to get together with other folks for the dinners and things like that, and get engaged in spirited bidding that night with your team. And some of the things you'll be able to bid on are, one, a Napa versus Livermore wine competition in Splends. And these aren't ordinary Livermore or Napa wines. They're from his cellar that he's picked out to be, well, they're pricey, he told me. So I don't know, I think he has 4 bottles we're going to taste that night. Then they're probably going to have some of his Zinfandel with the Italian dinner. And that's a dinner for 8. Palm Desert condo. I'm very familiar with that condo since it's mine. It's real nice. It's large, and it's any week between now and December 31st that isn't booked when you ask me, which right now is the whole year. The season's just ending and people aren't thinking. The other is Sharks Hockey Experience for 2. 2 tickets. You get access to the Super Lounge, I don't know what the name of it is. Before the game, you go to the press box and talk with Randy Hahn and see all that kind of stuff. And then I guess you get some really good seats. The tickets are really good seats for the game. So if you're a hockey fan, then another one you want to team up with other folks is a wine tasting with JMC Cellars on Omega Road. For 8, there'll be a chef there making hors d'oeuvres for each that goes appropriately with each wine you taste. Plus, you get to take wine home.
There's actually a third winery. There's 3 altogether.
And the third is?
I'm not sure.
So that's why I have 2 wineries.
It's another one of our amazing women wineries.
Okay. Okay, so you don't need a team to bid on these items. We're going to do a quest fund a need, and that's going to start off at $1,000, and I'll explain more about that in detail in a subsequent meeting. $1,400 worth of Buena Vista tree trimming, a Christian McCaffrey autograph framed jersey. This guy's all-pro, more than once on the first all-pro select team. And anyway, if you're a 49er fan, what a thing to have. And then we're going to do the barrel booze, but we're only going to do 1 barrel booze, but we're going to do a wagon of wine. Next slide. So we're looking for, since we're only doing 1 bottle of booze, we're looking for high-end booze. And since we're doing 1 wagon of wine, we're looking for high-end wine. No, please no $2 Chuck. So we're looking for, the $35, $40 kind of bottle of wine, so we can get the price of this wagon of wine up. And if matter of fact, I got 2 really nice bottles for the wagon already today. And we need gift certificates to put in the baskets that we're going to be using for the raffle. We need more silent auction items, high-end silent auction items. And if you're not doing a silent auction item, either a gift certificate from somebody or something of value that physically, we'd like $50 from you. And so that's in lieu of a donation. So deadlines for donation is March 11. The way you donate is all the crab feed committee members stand up, please, or put your hands up, because it's not for that. I want you to see who to give your bottles to or your certificates if you're confused. You can bring them to the meeting, bring them to JR, bring them to me. So we want to make sure we get enough booze and enough wine to fill a barrel in a wagon. So I'm going to end it at that. We'll update you on the progress next week, but tell your friends if they want tickets, they got to act really quickly.
Next up, Kathy, definitely.
I just wanted to announce 2 things. So Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance is partnering with Las Casitas College and the Livermore Chamber for April 25th. We're hosting a 5K race, which will support 10 different nonprofit organizations, so when you register, you can select the nonprofit, and if you'd like, make an additional donation. Our theme is superheroes, because we believe that all nonprofits are superheroes, so everyone will get a t-shirt and a cape. And you can also dress like your favorite superhero if you're so inclined, and dogs are welcome. So that's the first one. Check it out. We're very excited about this event. The second one, this Friday, we're hosting at the Bankhead Theater at 10:30 a.m. It's free and open to anyone who's interested in attending. Senator McNerney and Cal Nonprofits CEO Jeff Green. Jeff Green, Cal Nonprofits is the lead advocacy nonprofit group in the state of California, and so he'll be sitting down with Senator McNerney, who is the select chair for the nonprofits in the Senate this year. So we'd love to have you there. You can find the information on our website. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Kathy. Sonia.
I heard I could call this a brag because it's not related to Rotary. One of my other hats is a VFW auxiliary, and there's a flyer on your table for our pancake breakfast coming up on the 28th. You can buy tickets from me here, or you can buy them at the door, but I'd like to see some of you there if you wouldn't mind coming. It's $15. You get pancakes, sausage, scrambled eggs, tater tots, coffee, juice. So it's a good deal.
Great, thanks, Diane.
No, it's not free to me. No, I'll pay in the break.
Okay, next up. Gal. Gal is back.
Big out. One more time.
Our international ambassador is back.
Thank you. You guys remember me?
Yeah! Missed you.
All right, now I got a lot of catching up to do, but I'll be brief today and I'll talk more about it in a week or so. Next one. So, I want to give you a quick update on where we are as of 16. So our annual fund goal is 72. We are at 37, 628, 52%. And normally we are a lot more than that, but I'm okay, so we got a catching up to do. Polio Plus, it's 75%, and I'm going to be send out one more time the Polio Plus pledges, so reminding people and collect those. Now, the Polio Plus Society members, the goal was to get to 100%, everyone participate in that. We are at 35. Part of that is send out reminders, which I will. Paul Harris Society members, last year we were 40, and we are at 18, pretty close. So I think some of them do later in the year, but I'll have a reminders, make sure that we all catch up with that. The next one is non-Paul Harris Fellows, including Satellite Club members, is 40, which is high. We never had that much, but we have a lot of new members. And so we got some work to do. Next one.
When does the year end?
The year ends on June 30th.
Thank you.
Yeah, next one. So, number one, I'd like to encourage everyone to sign up for myrotary.org, and also we have a Ignite app. It's very handy. You don't have to search. You just go. It will tell you how much you contributed and what your recognition level is. So that will help you with that. So I'm going to encourage people to sign up Rotary Direct. That saves time and for me and you. And you set a goal, what you want to be. So double sustainer is what the district is hoping for, which is $200. And, but say, well, at least get to the $100 single sustainer. And we have 5 months, we can still do it, $20 a month will get you there. And Paul Harris Fellow, it can be new ones for $500 because our club has already contributed 500 foundation recognition points. So I encourage people to donate to Elmer Fund or a Polio Plus. You become in half the dollars. Take advantage. And if you Paul Harris Society member as opposed to it is $1,000 every year. So I think everyone knows that, most of you know, so I'm looking forward to have those 40 plus so we can meet that. And next level, I'll be make the information available to you. If you're a Paul Harris +4, how much it takes to be Paul Harris +5. Okay, so I'm not going to take any more time. This is just a reminder, so hear from me and let me know what you want to know. Whatever the information, I'll give that to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cal. Tracks, okay. So we have the next that build event, which will be on Saturday, February 28th.
8:30 in the morning.
Great, thank you, Joe.
You can sign up on their webpage.
8:30 to about 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
How fast we are?
I've already signed up for this. I participated last year, I guess, and it was a lot of fun. Get to work with power tools, breathe sawdust, all kinds of good stuff. So, and we're building beds for kids who don't have a bed to sleep on in Alameda County. So it's going to be about 8:30. It's over by Crossroads Church.
Yes.
But the address is on the website. So it's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace if you want to go to their website and sign up for it. So, thank you.
Great, thank you, Joel. I'm going to give it a try this year myself.
Crosswinds Church, I've been corrected.
Great. Next slide. Brag and boast. $20 donation. I think we have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. No ghost. Okay. Next. Linda Stanford and Roland Ellingson have a little information here, of course, on club grants. Linda, do you want to?
No, this is next week.
Oh.
Next week.
Sorry about that. Next week we have ... a club grants presentation. Big room, thank you. Right.
We do have the big room.
Do we have, Joe? At Del Val Winery, right, that's right. Joe will take it from here with today's presenter. Thank you, Joe.
So Phil and I were at the Dublin Club meeting a couple of months ago and got to hear Angela speak. She's working, or is the boss of, Teen Esteem, which is basically trying to get kids not to succumb to all the terrible social media and things that are going on. She brings a diverse and dynamic set of skills to lead the team at Teen Esteem. Her experience as a top 20 market broadcast news anchor shapes how we develop and articulate our messaging to maximize the impact of Teen Esteem and their curriculum on Bay Area kids and teens in schools. She's a parent herself, so she's passionate about the work that Teen Esteem does, equipping students to face the increasingly difficult challenges of growing up in the digital age. She incorporates her years of experience in real estate, financing, marketing, sales, and nonprofit organizations to physical strategies that stretch the funds that they raise. Her heart for community is evident in the authentic connections that she makes with supporters, students, staff, and volunteers. Fellow Rotarians and guests, Angela Plummer.
Such a nice, big audience, so I'm going to have a few of these pieces. So I'm just going to kind of intersperse that because we had quite a tremendous just outreach here. We want to brag a little bit about that. More than one person said it too. That's impressive. Okay. Thank you so much for such a nice introduction. I talk with my hands a lot and I move a lot, so as long as we're good with that, I'm going to pull this out of here. Thank you again for having me, Angela Plummer. I am the Executive Director, guilty as charged of Teen Esteem. I'm going to tell you a little bit about us if you don't know who we are not the new kids on the block. We have been here in the East Bay, headquartered in Danville, for 30 years. And predominantly what we do, our impact is going into schools and giving classroom presentations and assemblies on the really tough stuff you face growing up. And I think everyone in this room looks like they've grown up, or at least present as such. So you can all imagine those things that you face that were difficult. And so we're really there for these kids. Here's where the brag comes in. Over the 30 years, we've now reached, we just broke it, 300,000 students in the past 30 years here. And we're K through 5. So our predominant programs are high school and middle schools. I'm going to get to that, but we are down in the K through 5 area as well as that. And then some parent and community education. Our message to kids and teens is super simple, but it's super important. Your value is based on who you are, not the choices you make, because is there anyone in this room who made maybe not a great choice growing up? Like, I'm the captain of that ship, and I turned out okay, but we want them to know it's never too late to get their life back on track. This is really exciting for us. We have grown 90% in outreach over the past 3 years. This was a record-breaking year for us, breaking 20,000 students here in the Tri-Valley area. And so when I speak about the Tri-Valley, I really want to kind of zoom in a little bit because your community is specifically Livermore. It has been our fastest growing outreach in the past 3 years. This 20,000 students outreach that you're seeing, more than 4,000 of those are right there in this community. So it's a huge number of the students we reach. And part of that reason for outreach is because of this. You'd have to be living under a rock right now to not know that we have a mental health crisis that is unprecedented in our youth. Not just on a nationwide schedule, it's really, survey, but it's really easy to kind of dismiss it as such, but I'm really talking right here. Anyone here a parent or grandparent in the room, please raise your hand. So really, there's almost no one in this room that's not touched by what's going on with our kids and teens. I did not want to come back into nonprofit. In fact, I was adamantly opposed to it. I was approached for this job 1.5 years ago because I was already really upset with what I was seeing going on with our kids and teens. But it is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I have 3 children, twin 24-year-old boys who are off the payroll, let's go, and a daughter who's a junior in high school. My boys were launching during 2020, so the pandemic. My daughter's a junior right now at San Ramon Valley High School. All 3 of them have known someone who's taken their life. All 3 of my kids. That kind of chokes me up every time because my daughter, this past year, and just give me a minute, watching her struggle with trying to understand why this boy, who she'd known since middle school, who was so well liked and so sweet and kind, maybe a little quiet, would take his life, was tough. It's tough. She needed to go speak to a counselor. Can't even imagine what the family is going through, right? And so when we look at statistics of what's going on, I'm going to give you some nationwide statistics, but it's going to hit really close to home to this group of people here in this room. So these statistics are this about through the year 2020, really in the middle of the pandemic. But we saw at this line, this 2009 line, we see these just start going off the charts: anxiety, depression, diagnosed mental illnesses in our youth, right? When you think I would say a dramatic increase, you might see 25, 50%. We're talking 134% anxiety, 106% depression. Now let's bring it close to home. This is brand new data I just received. I was on the call when they released this. Actually, no, this is the Stanford Healthcare Tri-Valley Community Health Needs Assessment Report that just came out in October. So when we're looking at mental health hospitalizations for kids and teens, here's your statewide number, 15%. Alameda County kids, Contra Costa kids,
these are our kids. So when we're talking Tri-Valley and the East Bay, this is where it's hitting home in catastrophic numbers. A lot of things are contributing to that. Academic pressure is huge, you guys. These are not kids. This epidemic does not discriminate based on your color, your socioeconomic level, your religion, any of it. These kids are struggling at every single home and all socioeconomic backgrounds. So you think I'm talking about teenagers, but the truth is that we're seeing these children take their own lives between the ages of 10 and 14 years old at an unprecedented level. These are things we've never seen before in our history as a country. And this is the call I was just on in November, California Department of Health. So it always takes a couple of years for us to get the most up-to-date numbers. So these are through 2023, when we think that the effects of the pandemic would kind of be trickling down. They're not. So when we're looking, this is California specific, when we're looking at our 10 to 14-year-olds, you can see the increase in suicide, self-harm, or things like attempted suicides or cutting, which has become very prevalent, especially in our girls, our teenage girls. And then the same trends are true in 15 to 19-year-olds. Now, relating back to that study I just told you about with Stanford Healthcare Tri-Valley, what is really alarming for this community in Livermore is that in the Tri-Valley, Livermore suicide rates in the community are the highest, and they exceed the county average. So you're not exceeding just the state average now, you're exceeding the county average now. That's why we at Teen Esteem think that we've had our greatest growth here in the Livermore community, partially due to the cuts you've all heard about in the education system, which are hitting very hard in our counseling programs and wellness centers. What we do at Teen Esteem, we charge schools 10% of what it costs for us to be there. So that means my side hustle is constantly fundraising, so that cost never becomes between the messages that we bring in those classrooms and those students who desperately need us. So all of the catastrophic numbers that you just saw, the crisis we're seeing for years, that mental health experts, teachers, educators, doctors have been trying to figure out why. Well, now we know, probably everyone in this room has one in their pocket, or experts are calling this the rewiring of a generation. Those numbers really took off between 2009 and 2012. First, the onset of more than 50% of people having smartphones on them, and then the release of social media. So social media, the biggest thing that we're seeing in our teens and tweens is the distortion of their self-image. So if you look back, this is a really fascinating study. Starting in 1991, they asked 8th, 10th, and 12th graders how satisfied they were with themselves. Like, this is measuring kind of their self-confidence. How good do you feel in your own skin? So early 90s, back when I was in high school, and through the early 2000s, before these smartphones and social media started coming out, we were doing fairly well. You know, 2/3, 70% of the kids were feeling really good about themselves. You can see it's just like taking off over a cliff once we had smartphones and social media. Now, we are not here to vilify smartphones and social media. Tech is awesome. We cannot live without it. However, this is the first generation to try to grow up with it. We are the first generation to try to parent and grandparent through it. And Teen Esteem is part of setting new societal norms to help put the guardrails on these kids that they need. This is what we're seeing in girls. This is the sweetest little face, right? Like a 12-year-old girl, and using all the filters and measuring themselves against beauty standards that are absolutely unattainable online. And that's where we're seeing a catastrophic impact on our girls specifically. Boys, they're more impacted by gaming and the dopamine addiction, which I don't have time to get really deep into that today. We do that at our community education events. But for girls, it's the social media and the unattainable beauty standards and the cyberbullying, which is also huge for both our boys and girls. But this is where we're seeing a 188% increase in attempted suicide by teenage girls. The other thing that is really, really important to understand, and that our programs are helping to address, and what you're seeing me present today are the issues we address with very curated, customized curriculum for the students at age-appropriate levels. So we're talking to law enforcement, we're talking to educators, we're talking to mental health experts, and these are the statistics we're sharing with community members, parents, and grandparents. This is the average age a kid is being exposed to pornography right now, because we either have too much access to phones in general or no guardrails on them, between 8 and 12 years old. They haven't even gone through sex ed yet in school. Sexting. By the age of 14, more than 42% of kids have been coerced into sexting. Most of them don't want to do it, but the peer pressure that we've all fallen to growing up due to different things is super strong and prevalent when it comes to this. 88% of those self-produced images of children, which is essentially child pornography that they're sharing with someone else, ends up on parasitic adult content websites. So the number one barrier that keeps kids from reporting sextortion, anybody in the audience have an idea of what the number one reason is kids don't report that they're being sextorted?
Embarrassment.
What was that?
Embarrassment.
Okay, very close. It is the number one reason kids don't come forward. So when we talk to parents, we're really talking a lot about, even though you want to freak out and go through the roof, remain calm. The only way they're going to come back to you when they're faced with these kind of issues, and they're being faced with them in horrible numbers, is by remaining calm and remaining approachable. So we're educating parents about that. So change is coming. Teen Esteem is part of the forefront of that. Australia, you may know, in December went into effect a ban on all social media for anyone under 16. And they're not messing around. They're enforcing $32 million fines on social media companies. And I love the legislature's response in Australia to, how are we supposed to do that? They all kind of freaked out, and Australia's government turned around and said, well, you're the geniuses that created it. Clearly you're genius enough to figure out how to safeguard our kids and put parameters on it. So this is the first world country in the world to start addressing this. Other nations are soon behind. So if you were to ask me, Angela, what's the current safe tech curriculum in schools these days, I would have to tell you, I just sat on a panel last month in Lafayette with Vice President of Common Sense Media, which maybe some of you have heard about. It's an incredible platform nationwide. And Assemblymember Rebecca Barakan, who's a big advocate for safe tech for kids. And she shook her head. She said, we've been trying to get safe tech curriculum now in schools for 3 years. We delivered curriculum outlines to Department of Education, California. Still nothing back. By the time they get through that program, she said it will be, just out of date. We are, Teen Esteem, to my knowledge, the only safe tech curriculum going out in the East Bay. And we developed that over the past year, and we have had a 400% increase in demand for our programs in elementary school specifically. Now we're rolling out stuff in middle school as well, and the response is wonderful. So the beauty and the beast of technology, we roll in with rotary phones, and we talk to the kids and say, you think your parents are so lame because they can't use one of these? Well, can you guys dial on a rotary phone in 60 seconds or less? And that's our icebreaker. Then we play the age-old, and we've had 3 phones broken now, okay? So they tear the rotary off, they pick up the handset, put it on the floor, they have no idea, and it's hilarious. But it's really fun, and it gets them engaged. So again, we're not here to tell them that tech is bad. We talk about the beauties. You can reach your parents, you can get help with your homework, all the great parts. Connect with your friends and game online, but the beast, whether it's online strangers, FOMO, right, fear of missing out. We teach them, it's like a highlight reel when you're watching social media. It's like a sports broadcast. They don't put the lane plays of the game up there. They only show the highlights. So we're preparing them for that, teaching them about dopamine addiction, and most important of all, encouraging them to get off technology and engage with each other IRL, as the kids say, in real life. They leave with a little bracelet, Teen Esteem, that says Live IRL on it. But one thing we're hearing about educators is that kids in elementary school and middle school do not know how to make friends. A lot of that is pandemic driven. A lot of it is tech driven. They think they have real relationships or friendships online. They do not. So we're in it 5th grade because, you guys, it's the average age kids in America get their first phone. Next thing we've rolled out is Who's Your OG Influencer? Middle school assembly just rolled out this year. All the kids, 2/3 of them, if you ask them what they want to be when they grow up, it is not a Rotarian, sorry guys, or an attorney or a doctor. It is an influencer. So we throw up on the screen some graphics and tell them, you know, the average influencer in America makes $15,000 a year. The average full-time employee starting at In-N-Out makes $45,000 a year. So we're really bringing that home. But cyberbullying is huge right now, so that assembly addresses cyberbullying very succinctly, giving them coping skills and conflict resolution, as well as saying, okay, we show them like The Rock and Ariana Grande and all these cool influencers, and we say, what do you really know about them? Well, not much. Let's talk about who your real influences are in your life, people who really, really want good for you. And so we, you know, circling back to teachers and coaches and parents and grandparents and maybe your friends' parents, because sometimes you don't have supportive parents at home. And then community education initiative, parents, kids, teens, and tech, because like I said, the kids were the first kids to try to navigate this, but we are, oh gosh, mic drop moment. We are the first grandparents and parents to try to figure it out. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share with you these cards. So this is the Beauty and the Beast card that the kids get, along with their cool little takeaway bracelets, talking about the beauties and the beast of technology for 5th graders with a Smart Tech pledge to take home to their parents. This is the community-wide, thank you so much, you're so sweet. I'm just going to kind of put a few for you guys to kind of pass out. This is the card that the parents and community members, thank you, take home from this event for the adults. These are free community ed events we're doing, and parents are just really lining up for these because they don't know what to do or how to raise their kids in this digital age. So we have a licensed marriage and family therapist, school counselor, me delivering like the statistics predominantly that I've addressed with you today, a tech executive, and a teenager talking about the truths of what they're going through and equipping parents with what they need to know. On the back of that card is what we have developed as the Teen Esteem Digital Dozen. We have gone to all sorts of resources, I'll show you them in a minute, experts' input, boiled that advice on how to parent with technology to 12 simple steps for parents. And they're so relieved when they get that because they don't have the time, full time, to be researching how to do this, right? And parents too, grandparents too rather. We are seeing the largest number of grandparents, you know, assisting in the raising of this generation. So we're getting those in the hands of as many people as we can. Again, 25, 26 assemblies, game on, scoring true friendships, kind of a similar theme to this Who's Your OG Influencer we talked about earlier. This is what our assemblies look like. They're so...
What does OG mean?
Oh my gosh. Does anybody in the room know? This is a great question. It's OG means original gangster. And what it comes from is it's an old, like, think of like the Bloods and Crips, you know, the gangs. That's where that came from. And now what it means in today's terminology is the GOAT, like the original. Like they would say like Madonna or Beyonce was like the original, you know, best female vocalist. So yes, who's your OG? I know, I didn't make it up. I'm just trying to be really cool when we go in there so kids relate to us. Speaking of cool, it's not me going in the classroom. These kids don't need another middle-aged woman talking to them. So we recruit younger adults who are really relatable. And those adults, young adults, share their trials that they've overcome over really tough issues that they face growing up. So, you know, we have a recovered alcoholic, high-achieving professional who shares her journey in getting hooked on alcohol as a teenager. We have people who've shared their anxiety and depression story. We actually do have a father, a middle-aged man, who shares losing his son to suicide. We also have an ex-NFL football player, 49er, go Niners, who talks about very candidly about his porn addiction and how he found it online when he was a teenager and how it almost destroyed his marriage. I wish I could have you guys there in the classroom to see the relief on the kids' faces when they hear these stories. And so we don't just do smart tech and social media, okay? That's just what we are bringing to the forefront right now because of the crisis we're in. But we cover all sorts of things, rape, cyberbullying, depression, and self-respect. So that's the biggest thing we find, that if you have high self-esteem, learn to value yourself, you're way less likely to make a high-risk choice. We don't tell the kids what to do, we open the conversation with them and teach them how to value themselves, how to forgive themselves, how to give themselves grace if they need to get back on track. Because if they value themselves, they are way less likely to make one of these high-risk choices. So these are the cooler speakers I'm talking to you about. This is them in action in the classroom. Just really proud of this team. This year we started an internship program that I launched this fall. We now have the largest speaker team we've ever had in 30 years, which helps with that incredible growth that we've had. So I want you to hear really quick, this is a clip from one of the speakers who has been in the classroom.
Advice I have to teenagers about vaping: don't do it. I still do it. I wish I never started. Literally 2 weeks ago, tried to quit. Gave it my everything, went about 8 hours maybe, until I was fiending from somebody else. Makes you feel all woozy.